Guys, this video needed to be done. There are many players whose talents go unsung despite their remarkable impact on the football pitch, but perhaps none so plainly as Olivier Giroud. Giroud is special. He is probably the last of a dying breed among strikers today. The clinical frontman has proved time and again why he's a thorn in the side of any defensive backline, and yet he finds himself living in the shadows of his fellow teammates. I have a lot of respect for Giroud. He had to fight for everything, and already in the womb of his own mother he was fighting for a spot in this world. So that begs the question, why is Olivier Giroud so underrated? Let's talk about it. The top strikers make light work of engineering ample room from which to strike at goal. It's all about movement, timing, position, and cunning acts of deception. If you get those right, then finishing shouldn't be complicated, or indeed as difficult as it is for the overwhelming majority who lack the gift of space interpretation. Giroud is one of the masters of being in the right place at the right time. His entire career has been built upon the foundations of his intelligence inside the penalty area, on the intrinsic sense of anticipation and finely calculated foresight. We have to really turn back time to find out how this good-looking Frenchman really became one of the greatest strikers of our generation. Olivier Giroud was born on September 30th, 1986 in a little city located in southeastern France. Giroud's childhood was all about football since he had an older brother named Romain, who also played football professionally, going as far as representing the Auxerre youth team in the lower French leagues. Romain was a big part of why Olivier started playing football. He would always give essential tips to his little brother, and Olivier, who wanted to be like his big brother, listened carefully. What came across as a major setback for Olivier early in his footballing career was that Romain eventually gave up on his dreams of being a footballer, and instead started studying to become a nutritionist. Romain was 10 years older than Olivier, and him backing out on the footballing dream had a massive impact on Olivier's psyche. Olivier did not take this well, and he also nearly gave up on his footballing dream, but he somehow got enrolled into the Olympique Club de Forges, a nearby club. His association with the club came into motion following his family's move to a little village called Forges. For the following 6 years, Olivier worked toward honing his skills, and by the time he was a teenager, he was a competitive player waiting to get a chance to play in the bigger games. At the age of 13, professional club Grenoble took him in, and very low on confidence, knowing how his brothers had given up on his football dreams, Olivier's performance was greatly affected. But that's not all. The same year, his mother sat him down in the kitchen of their home in Forges, close to Grenoble, and finally unburdened herself. "You weren't wanted," she told him. He had been a mistake, but she loved him equally. His mother had really considered taking an abortion, as Giroud was not a planned birth. This conversation probably sparked Giroud's motivation to continue fighting, to prove himself and everyone around that he was worth it. I get goosebumps just reading this out loud, but in an interview later on with Henry Winter, Olivier calmly talked about this part of his childhood and told Henry that I was born fighting. I was fighting for survival in the womb. It explains why I always fight in every single moment in my career. Despite the heartbreaking news from his mother, Olivier kept going. He spent 5 more years in the youth academy of the club, but was never considered a strong player to play in the bigger leagues. Right before the 2005 to 2006 season, he was named into the club's reserve team, which was all set to play in Championnat de France Amateur 2, which was one of the lowest levels of French football. Determined to leave a solid mark on the team management, Olivier scored 15 goals in 15 matches that he played in and over the next 7 years. His performance kept gaining attention. Finally, in March 2006, the senior team management of Grenoble was compelled to call him in for the first team. From there, his career went upwards. He finally got the respect he wanted. He went on to sign for various clubs such as Istres, Tours FC, and in 2010, he joined Montepellier, earning a lot of fame and fan following. He had scored a total of 33 goals playing 73 games for Montpellier between the years of 2010 and 2012. This caught the attention of a certain Arsene Wenger, who at the time managed Arsenal. Having seen his splendid form, several prominent Champions League clubs were desperate to sign him, but Arsenal won the race, signing a long-term contract with the forward. Arsenal had just lost their star Robin van Persie to rival Manchester United, and big man Giroud had arrived to take his place. Giroud touched some new heights playing for Arsenal and scored 105 goals in 253 games. Even though he sometimes struggled to find the net, and when everyone ruled him out, he always found a way to bounce back by contributing to goals and special flicks. Having him in the team, the Gunners won the English FA Cup thrice in 2014, 15, and 2017. They also won the English Super Cup thrice in 2015, 16, and 2018. But the major trophies did not come before he later went on to the rivals Chelsea, ending his long career at Arsenal. He signed for the Blues in 2018, and Giroud found great form as he scored 39 goals and provided 14 goals from 119 games. At Chelsea, he won many trophies, including the Champions League, Europa League, and an FA Cup. But Giroud struggled with playing time. Chelsea kept on bringing in expensive strikers that turned out to flop. But when Giroud got brought on as their substitutions in the last minutes of the games, he very often scored important goals.
Nice job, Katie.
His contract with Chelsea came to an end, and after spending 3 years at Chelsea, Giroud decided to make a switch to the Italian league. The Italian giants AC Milan came forward to buy the player for €4 million, and Olivier is loving life in Italy. The French international ended up winning the Serie A league title with AC Milan during the 2021-22 season. Since making his debut for Milan in 2021, Giroud has managed to score and assist a total of 16 goals from 38 appearances. So despite him being one of the most decorated French players of all time, as well as him having played a big role in many of those trophies he has been involved with, Olivier Giroud is kind of an underrated figure. I think this is mainly because of his perceived unglamorous way of playing football in an era where technical players are the norm. However, those who have followed him closely are aware of his genius, namely Arsene Wenger and Didier Deschamps, with whom he has previously worked with. Deschamps in particular put a lot of faith in him, making Giroud a starter over the likes of Karim Benzema, Alexander Lacazette, and Anthony Martial. He was so trusted that when he won the World Cup with France in 2018, he played 546 minutes in total, without a single shot on goal. But that is Giroud. He brings so much more than just goals into a team, and that is why he is one of my favorite players. If you guys enjoyed the video, please subscribe and give it a like. Leave me some feedback on what you want to watch next, and watch some of my other videos. Thank you guys, and from now on, put some respect on big man Olivier.